So in order to predict the exons, we first try to get the ORFs, and once we get the ORF, within that we can look for the exons. And in order to do that, we might use some evidence which we get it while if we have predicted those splice sites. So we can use that information, guys, and with the help of information we gathered about the ORF and about the splice junctions, we can predict exons. So for each segment, acceptor and donor, we get 3 scores. One is coding potential, and then we get a donor score, then we get acceptor score, and we look for different possibilities. If all 3 scores are high, probably we are having a true exon. The scores are low, we don't expect a real exon over there. All in the middle, then we can do some other alternatives. Some scores are high, some are low. Again, we can look into some other alternatives. So here we can get the evidence by the help of those information which we gathered from those splice sites. As far as the predictions are concerned, what we do here is we collect a set of exons and non-exons. So what we do is we take the known exons and we take some regions where we are not sure about that, or where are the regions where we don't have exons. So what we do here is we score them using some scoring schemes, and then we plot them. So once we plot them, they are obviously in a two-dimensional picture. So exons and introns, they must be separated from one another. There must be some line from where we can separate them. So that thing is, there comes analysis, what we call it as linear discriminant analysis. So linear discriminant analysis, LDA, commonly known as LDA, finds an optimal plane surface that best separates points that belong to two classes. So for example, if there are 10 true exons and 10 introns, and we have two features, one feature is exon, one is intron, and we want to separate them. So there are total 20 samples, 20 points, data points, and we can separate them in a two-dimensional space based upon two features. So one of them feature is that some of them they are introns and some of them they are exons. So if we get their characteristics, if we get their probabilities or frequencies coming as far as those coding regions are concerned, we get those frequencies and we get their distributions, and we plot them for all these 20 samples, in which 10 of them are exons and 10 of them are introns. If we plot them together, so LDA would try to separate them into two distinct classes. For example, if we look into this picture, we have coding regions and we have non-coding regions, which are shown in green, and there is a line in the middle, so that tries to separate these two. So this is where we can do discrimination. We can draw a central line or a linear regression line. We see the equation over there, y is equal to ax plus b. So we can draw this line where we can have prediction. So this line actually fits into in such a way that it fits into most of those data points. So if we don't know about some data point, we can predict while using this line, this prediction line, which is right here, this angular line. But if we look into those green spots and these red spots, they are kind of separated. So we can have separation between these two coding and non-coding regions. So if we can get any new sequence and we can put it into this picture, so we can then look into where it falls, whether it falls in these green dots or whether it falls in these red dots, and we can then predict whether it is having some exon or it is not having some exon. So that kind of analysis where we collect some set of exons and introns and we score them and then we plot them and we draw a separator line is called as linear discriminant analysis. And this analysis can be helpful in exon finding.